The U.S. Supreme Court sends the decision on presidential immunity back to the lower court. A look at what this means for former President Trump and the election interference case right here in Georgia. The Supreme Court issuing its ruling in a landmark case that could have an impact on November's election. Thanks so much for joining us. For Fox 5 News at 4, I'm Christine Spiro. The justices said former presidents, including Donald Trump, enjoy a certain amount of immunity from prosecution. We have team coverage on this historic decision. Fox 5's Rob DiRienzo has a look at what this means for the former president and the Georgia election case. We begin first with Fox 5 anchor Russ Spencer live in studio here with more on the court's ruling. Russ.
Donald Trump saying this is a big victory for him and for democracy. In a 6-3 ruling along the political divide of the court, the justices decided that presidents have immunity for official acts carried out in office, but do not have immunity for unofficial ones. The decision sends former President Trump's election interference case back to a lower court to decide whether his actions were official or unofficial. It also delays his trial in Washington ahead of the November election, meaning that if he wins, he can tell his Justice Department to drop the cases. Now, prosecutors have accused the former president of illegally scheming to cling to power after he lost to President Biden. The ruling amounts to a major victory for the presumptive Republican presidential nominee, whose legal strategy has focused on delaying the proceedings. The former president reacted to the ruling, telling Fox News Digital, "This is a, quote, big win for our Constitution and for democracy." The Biden-Harris campaign also weighed in, saying this does not change the facts of what happened on January 6th. So, was the call to Brad Raffensperger on January 2nd, asking for 11,780 votes, an official act or an unofficial one? They're going to disagree about that, and we'll see what happens in court.
There was no decision on what is official and what is unofficial by the Supreme Court, right? So like you said, it'll still be debated. Russ, thanks so much. And big questions about how today's landmark Supreme Court ruling over presidential immunity will impact the former president's prosecution here in Georgia. Let's go to Fox 5's Rob DiRienzo with that angle of the story and the fallout this has played out in Fulton County. Rob, what does this mean for the former president's RICO case?
Hey there, Christine. Well, some legal scholars tell me that this will change but not completely derail the former president's massive RICO indictment in the courthouse here behind me. At the core of this, as Russ just mentioned just a few moments ago, is whether or not the former president was acting in his official scope of duties when he called Secretary of State Brad Raffensperger to try to overturn the results here in Georgia.
You're certainly at least going to get arguments about that, about whether there is immunity in the Georgia case.
Emory Law School professor Jonathan Nash spent the day combing through the Supreme Court's landmark decision Monday that former presidents are immune from the law if they're acting in an official capacity.
The court says there are certain things that lie within the core sphere of presidential authority.
But Professor Nash says the court did not offer any legal immunity for former President Trump's unofficial acts.
Setting up a scheme of fake electors is not something that the Constitution directly calls for.
And now the fate of former President Trump's legal troubles in Georgia, federally and elsewhere, hinges on what official means. Fulton County Superior Court Judge Scott McAfee must go through each of the former president's 10 alleged felonies and figure out if any are now void. That includes if Mr. Trump's now infamous phone call with Secretary of State Brad Raffensperger pressuring him to flip the results was part of his presidential duties.
But the special counsel can't point to the president's motive. That's not something that can come into play. The action is either going to be sort of official or not official.
Professor Nash says that same metric will come into play in Georgia as well as in his federal cases. But the former president's RICO indictment in Fulton County has been at a standstill as the courts decide whether District Attorney Fani Willis should be off the case following her romantic relationship with Special Prosecutor Nathan Wade. That will have to be sorted out first in this case.
So that's all baked in already. This decision, I think, is going to give additional grounds for the president and who knows, maybe other litigants to make additional arguments to have certain counts thrown out, claims of immunity.
And on top of all of this uncertainty we're seeing at the federal level with those cases, he says that this case could take years to ultimately go before a jury. Meanwhile, we did reach out to DA Fani Willis's office for comment, but they declined at this point. That's latest from here, live in downtown Atlanta. Rob DiRienzo, Fox 5 News.
All right, Rob, thanks so much. Former Trump advisor Steve Bannon has reported to prison. The 70-year-old reported to a federal prison to serve a 4-month sentence for charges related to the January 6th U.S. Capitol attack. A jury convicted Bannon in Washington on 2 counts of contempt of Congress nearly 2 years ago for ignoring a subpoena from the House January 6th committee. A federal appeals court panel Thursday rejected his bid to delay the start of the sentence. Northwest Georgia Congresswoman Marjorie Taylor Greene was there as Bannon talked to reporters shortly before beginning his sentence. And this is all a developing story. Make sure to download the Fox 5 app on your smartphone for updates and have push notifications turned on so you don't miss any updates.